All right, folks, we're back. We do have some news for you. It's not a lot of news. It's not great news. TLDR, you're going to be waiting a little bit here, but yeah, it looks like Crank stream's finishing up. They're in Game 3 right now, and we're going to be waiting for them before we start the semifinals. So we'll basically be kicking off with Neeb versus Nerchio, who are copy-pasting each other in chat right now. And then the other semifinals afterwards. So here, show you guys. Foreigners dominating Olimoleague. Sup, son? Sup, son?
Cool.
So what we are, wait, Mike, I'm gonna keep syncing on my camera. It's my chair, I think. Anyways, while we're waiting what's going on, Sleepy Cod's currently the bit boss for today, and today only for now at least. I have turned resubs on as damage points to the boss, so don't forget that while you are the bit boss, you get cool extra powers. You can tax everybody in chat, take 5% of their Makarovs. You can boss glory to get a special piece of loot, a lot of XP and money too. Make sure to take advantage of it if your name happens to be the bit boss. And if you guys don't know what any of that is, you can look up more information about it through GatherBot. But man, I was talking with Nate about this earlier, and I'm curious what your opinion is. Have you used the new Twitch app very much?
No, I very pointedly like stay away from the Twitch app.
Well, so yeah, the Hard Revenge is bringing it up in chat. I know he was there for the talk earlier. I'm really disappointed with it. I actually used the old one quite a bit. The new one, I understand what they're trying to do with it, but there's so many functions on it that make it really impractical, in my opinion, and not good as a consequence. One of the obvious big ones here as a streamer is it's incredibly difficult to actually get to somebody's profile to find their donate button, for example. Like, let's say, hey, somebody wanted to throw us $5, saying, hey, I love the show, keep it going. They actually have to press not the area, but the exact profile picture. Then they have to swipe over, swipe down, click on a button, and then it brings you to this page where you can see all the information. And you're kind of like, why did you make this so complicated, Twitch? And the best part is the info bar, because Twitch shows like 4 panels. It's the 5th one. So you actually have to swipe over. You won't be defaulted to it ever. And it's so infuriating. Then there's this whole thing with like swiping to swap channels is like really annoying, because I'll accidentally swipe just a little bit and it'll change the channel I'm watching. I'm like, who's going through Twitch channels so quickly that you need to swipe to get to the next one so fast, right? Like, it's not a convenience thing.
I've been kind of disappointed with the general layout. Either it's the mobile app, which the old one I also thought had like what is that word actually, where it's very easy to find one thing or another. Like, it's a framework, but that's not the word I'm looking for.
I have no idea what you're currently describing.
I can't remember it. The chat will probably know, like some like web designer will probably know. Anyways, I thought I had a problem with that too, but I also, and I don't know whether to blame the desktop version on better Twitch TV or actually Twitch, which is my issue, I know. But I know recently they moved the menu, the dashboard items off to the left side as opposed to on top. Yeah. That threw me off, and I was like... That was
really annoying too. And to be clear, guys, I don't blame this. There's a lot of outside forces, right? Like, oh, there's more Matcherino events going on. There's Patreon for Olimoleague. Not everyone actually has that much money that they could throw at us, even if they wanted to. But I want to show you something a lot of streamers won't do, right? Here's what our income through Twitch Alerts looked like for the month of July. Remember, me and Zombie are first have to take off like 20% for taxes on this and then split it 50-50. So we're getting like barely $200 a month from donations right now. It feels really fucking bad. And I really don't know, again, whether this is entirely a consequence of the Twitch mobile app just finding the donation. Like, I know for me, I've gone to a couple streamers and I've been totally deterred from throwing them $5 when I normally would, because it was just so annoying to get to the button. To actually get to I didn't even know how, by the way. I had to tweet and get a video tutorial on how to get to the info page on the mobile app because I couldn't figure it out on my own. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not a very smart person, but I'm a fairly intelligent person. I'm fairly tech savvy. The fact that it wasn't intuitive at all to get to somebody's info page was insane to me. When I think like there's so many other people out there who also are in the same category where they're just like, I can't fucking figure this out. And so I'm just like, I can't be bothered to donate money or anything like that.
Yeah. There's like a couple of websites that I feel like I have that problem with. It sucks that Twitch is experiencing it too.
It's not always about the money, Rifkin. Well, that's where you're half right. You know, sometimes like when I'm doing PUBG, for example, I'm not streaming PUBG for money. I'm streaming it because I really like playing the game. I'm just showing it to some friends. when we're doing other tournaments that require money, yes, it's about the money. Nobody just comes in to play tournaments for free.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing.
Not the level that you guys want to watch, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I feel that's a really weird thing to say without a huge block of context and being very specific. That just kind of makes you sound like one of those guys that's like, well, why do you need to earn money at all? Just do it for the passion.
Right, and on that note, let's talk about the Olimoleague Patreon, right? I bring this up not to just solely show for the Patreon, but hey, shout out to the Olimoleague Patreon, right? Look at this, okay? It takes the entire month of money we earned in July is what it costs each week to run one of these tournaments. So there's your context for it's not always about the money, right? $521 per weekly tournament. Now keep in mind, a good portion of this is prize money, and some of it also gets segmented towards saving up for monthly finals. And it's not like each week costs exactly $500. Each week costs probably like a little bit closer to like $300 or $200, and then like the rest carries over. But the thing is, Olivia's really, she's been really transparent about it. In fact, you can see over here in the streamer goal section too, like exactly where every single dollar goes for the Patreon. We don't necessarily lay all that out, but it's still the same costs and it's the same things, right? So again, to say like money doesn't matter, it's really absurd for me to read that because it's so far from the truth. But thank you, BattleNot, for the 30-month resub saying, what is love? And Fippers for 16 months while we were ranting saying, hey, you guys. And
well,
I guess
you
that
just
was
completely cut out right there. That was...
Oh, did I? Okay. I hope I didn't cut off a stream. Then all hail 42 for the prime sub. I think that catches us up. Sorry if we missed anybody.
That's a really weird cutoff point. You're just like, hey, you got... And then I guess you paused after too, so it was especially bad.
I was gonna say, I really hope it wasn't on stream anyways. Are you able to see if someone donates on mobile versus non-mobile? No, Drunken Llama, and that's the thing. That's why I'm saying, like, I know there's other outside forces. I'm not just being, like, paranoid about it, right? Like, again, I'm fully aware there's other things going on. It's summer. People want to spend their money like actually going outdoors and doing things. We got Matcherino events they're throwing bucks into, Patreons, etc. Like, I'm fully aware that donations are going to be down and fluctuating all the time. But to give you, like, context here, it's like, really down. Like, really, really down. It's not to the point where, like, you know, we've still got subs and we got all this stuff supporting us, so we're still good to go, guys. We're still able to make things happen, but it's like that comfortable life we were hoping to one day live is like still so far away.
Well, oh yeah, the game is starting soon.
Yep, we're in the lobby now for Nerchio versus Neeb. Took a little bit of time. I'm gonna squeeze in. Oh no, I'm not gonna squeeze in. I guess we're finally getting everyone in here. We're just waiting on Crank. By the looks of things. Who I think is out of game? There he is. Okay, I was like, I'm not sure what the holdup was, but there we go. All right, everyone's in game. It's map number 1 of Acolyte, or being Acolyte. Excuse me, as I took a weird hiccup there. Nerchio versus Neeb. I gotta. Are we really playing South Korea? I feel like
why not?
Oh, Neeb's in Korea. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm dumb. I forgot.
I was really confused when you first said it.
Well, I thought he was in America, but that's right. GSL versus the world. Of course, he would stay. You would just mention so casually, like everybody went back, and I just assumed he was in that boat of things.
Literally in a boat. No, he's been here for.
They're both barcodes too. What dicks?
3 weeks. 2-3 weeks. Yeah.
Foreigners dominating the Olimoleague. Hey, we had some Korean shouting going in the background. That means we had a donation come in. Thank you very much to Julie. Or Julie? Oh, that's clever. $5 says, get that revenue up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, folks. It's game number 1. We're in the semifinals for this week's Olimoleague, and it is foreigners dominating at least half the bracket of the Olimoleague. A guaranteed foreigner in the finals. But who's it going to be? In the bottom left, he's actually had a good run at ZvP so far today. Let's see if he can keep that momentum rolling. It's Nerchio.
In the top right, has the yellow Protoss, it is Neeb.
Neeb has been kind of like everybody's kryptonite at one point, and ZvP being what it is. Again, I know Nerchio's like not super in love with the matchup, but the fact that he just manhandled Classic and played a pretty solid series versus Myungsik and he's doing all of this with some pretty nasty latency in his back pocket. I'm impressed, and I totally think he's got what it takes to possibly take on Neeb. But again, Neeb is a god, a literal god.
Neeb's pretty good. He's not winning literally everything, but anything he doesn't win, he has been losing very narrowly. The one thing that everyone likes to point out in recent times with the GSL qualifiers, like who in the world would possibly ever lose to Hurricane, and I thought that was unfair. But even regarding that, the past month or so, he's just been looking, as I said, either winning or if he doesn't win, it's super, super close against very, very good opponents. I'm not sure. I feel like Neeb is going to bring out something different, though. I don't think he's had consistent styles from... We've cast 3 Protoss in a row right now against Surge, and I don't think anyone's been like, well, he's going to play exactly like this guy. You know, they're just going to play the most standard macro game in the world. They're both going to be super cheesy and proxy gateway every single time. Like, I don't think it's really the case. Myungshik is kind of this interesting character, just got back from Overwatch, well, a month or 2 ago. Loves his Stargate, but he was always loving his Stargate. Classic is trying this new thing with Stargate, but then last series played kind of more normal, but then didn't expect Nerchio to play abnormal. And then Neeb, a little more in tune with the foreigners, obviously, as they joke back and forth, maybe is more in tune to what Nerchio is doing, and then there's that dynamic between these two. So it's a bunch of interesting ZvPs.
Well, the Crankcast just came back. Thank you very much for that. Get to that in a second, as Nurcio does squeeze links across the map. For those who don't know, by the way, because you probably are like, why have I never heard this sound before? This has everything to do with donations being down. That is the top donor sound, and somebody has one-upped Julie. That's Root Fly for $6, saying all you need is love, BaseTradeTV, with a heart. To which I say, yes, yes I do, and thank you very much for that love, dude.
So we did have Nerchio go for a faster lair and a Roach Warren. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Nidus Worm come down too. Oracle should be scouting though. Like he already saw a Roach Warren put down on 2 bases, still no third. So the fear of a Nidus Worm should be in Neeb's mind. With an Oracle, it should even easily be able to scout this.
What's interesting is I do wonder if this is based on the map, right? Like Nerchio did this on Acolyte as well before. Maybe it's a good ZvP tactic in general, but maybe it's a great one for Acolyte because of the way the naturals cut off from the rest of the world. Regardless, Neeb has this Mothership Core on the way, and this is something where he usually does skip this for quite a bit of time. In fact, he's quite notorious to do... Like, he does it all the time until he loses a game for not doing it, and then he goes Mothership Core immediately every game following. So, I don't think that'll be one of these games. Nerchio is going to actually have a very interesting composition to deal with. Neeb actually pulls all the probes, which is a very good response to this, but there's also a Void Ray coming out behind it.
So that was something that's interesting from Classic. He didn't really use the Stargate play, and he didn't pull the probes either. This is at least some extra damage, but of course it's going to cost a lot more probes.
It actually ends up causing Nerchio to fall back immediately, though, so this doesn't get nearly as out of hand. So it is kind of a trade-off there, but Nerchio is for another Nidus Worm for the Oversoar, Oversoar. Dinosaur, yeah. Unfortunately, this one's quickly dealt with. This is bad.
Yeah. You know, Classic had a surprisingly large amount of probes because he didn't pull the probes, right? But that was a much better plan there for Neeb.
Oh, it's crazy to look at the dynamic of how that was. Like, you got top Korean Pros Classic and then top foreigner Neeb, and you're like, wow, which one handled this better? Because it really was the same situation in both.
It was very close.
Odyssey being selected from Nerchio.
It's no longer my job to make lobbies. Keep remembering that.
Nice. Just take a deep breath and relax. A lot of people asking in chat, sorry, somebody's can read chat. Because I'm doing the observing, guys, I can't really tab out and respond like Zombie Grip can. You'll notice when she's streaming, I'm usually a little bit more active in chat too. But it was asking like if you guys have jobs, like what would you do? I actually had a job. It was like as a consultant, and it worked great because it was kind of part-time, and then I got kind of screwed because I wanted to take time off for something I shouldn't have taken time off for. So I currently don't have a job on the side, but I would say we're not exactly gonna be like homeless with our income through doing StarCraft. Like, we've been doing it for so long, we've secured ways to try and make some money other than relying on donations, but it just again, going back to the topic of things, it does suck when you start realizing you're making less than you did before, right? And that's the same in any situation.
Yeah, everyone. This is.
Yeah, the bits come in there. Sorry, interrupting. I'll just finish off my topic here real quick. First, thank you 47 is for the 1,000 bits. He does the birthday bits too, because if you guys don't know, Twitch has actually got a deal out for bits. If you've never purchased bits before, you get a 27% off for the $10 bit line, which is cool. It's 1,000 bits, and you get birthday cheers, says love and maybe some kick, because it sounds like kick. I like it. I was gonna also finish too, like people who don't use ad block, you watch our ads and stuff, you help us a ton. On average, I'd say ads make us between anywhere between $20 and $50 a stream. Granted, that's not a lot considering it's 4 hours of work, but it's income that we don't have to rely on donations for, right? So, while random things like cheers, I fucking love, and donations are great, we do still have some sustainable income. And I don't want people to start thinking, like I really don't want some people to start thinking like Zombie Grub and Rifkin are gonna be starving next week because they couldn't get $5 on stream. But it is, again, just that topic of it's less than before, so it feels bad, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, he might be feeling bad, man. He's already down 1 in the series, and he's about to get punked on. Here in the top left, it's Nerchio.
In the bottom right, cannon rushing. It's the yellow Protoss Neeb.
This is so sick. We just don't see cannon rushes. And there's really no reason for Nurcio to expect this because of how uncommon the tactic is.
Well, there's so many reasons to why it's not really as potent as it was before. There's a lot of more drones to pull that you can get the surrounds if you can get the surrounds. On the flip side, there's more money to put down pylons and cannons, but we went for a normal build opener. Yeah, I mean, but that's not the end of the world because continuing on with why this is, not as good of an idea as it was in Heart of the Swarm. There's new units. There's the Ravager that helps take care of things, and then there's the Overlord drops that help you counterattack.
Yeah, absolutely, but it's interesting. Neeb actually went for the cannons maybe a little too early. If these finish up, it'll give Nerchio time to actually cancel his hatchery.
Yeah, maybe that's just not what he's going to go for. I mean, canceling the hatchery, denying the hatchery, it's not as good as literally having to kill the hatchery, but it is still a denial. It is still, Nerchio having to figure out how to get around these cannons. Do I clean up the cannons? Do I just let them be? And, do I try and finish the hatchery and save it? I was gonna say, it's like it seems like a little bit of tit for tat,
I feel like that's what everyone thinks in that scenario. That's a little bit rude, but nobody actually says it, so I just love that Nerchio said it. Oh, too good. All right, well, they have some cheeky back and forth. You were right. There are options to get around this, right? The Ravagers break the cannons easier than before. Roaches in general could just brute force this down. Is Neeb in dire straits here? No, but Nerchio might be because he has to commit, and he's going for a fast lair. One base.
I mean, for a Nidusworm, I don't know. Nidusworm just seems like even like so much more investment than what could be a couple of slow Overlord drops. But then they are going to be slow, so they could be sniped off and dealt with that way too. So, if it is a Nidusworm, so be it. It's actually the most classic way you deal with a cannon rush.
I was gonna say, it just feels like the only option, because what are you gonna do, like make 2 mutas off of 1 base?
I was just thinking maybe like a very, very slow crawl up to Roach speed, but I really just, why would you go to lair for that? You don't really need Roach speed at this point in time. So it's got to be a Nidusworm, but it is the oldest way to deal with it after your hatcher's already died, that is.
Well, the Roach is going to try and poke off his cannon. I guess the nice thing is they soak the hits. They can transform into a full health Ravager later, so he's got to pull back. Losing a Roach there, definitely a mistake. Not a small one at that either. Ooh, that's the victory music. Somebody threw some big bits in. Who's that? OFU. 10,000 bits with a flaming sword of justice. Slays the bit boss in a real big way. Don't forget to ! boss glory and claim your prize, OFU. But thank you very much for those bits, dude. Super appreciated, especially considering the topic at hand. But this Nidus is just barely gonna time out not to sync up with that Overlord dying. Nerchio has to now put this on the front line, and he can't stick it in Neeb's main. Ooh, he's loot? Not how I meant it.
Well, the Ravager is taken out by just a couple of Mothership Core shots. This is already looking quite good for Neeb. To have to deal with it on a frontal attack is just a little bit easier than having to deal with it right into your main base. And again, it's not going to be that many units because it is off of one base. Like, it's only a handful of roaches and maybe a couple of queens, which this Immortal is just going to be a godsend for, even gets the Nidus Worm.
I really wish the queens could have got a tumor down. Nurcio realizing that too is a little bit late. Oh my god, more bits coming in. You guys are way too kind today. Get to that in just a second, because right now the action's still heating up. That Immortal has to live. Its barrier's coming off of cooldown soon, so it will be able to take some hits. The second one being out is great.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
And the defense won't be broken.
Yeah, also an Immortal would at least be something for Nerchio to walk back home with, but it wouldn't be enough at all, and he's not even going to get it.
Well,
so,
my thoughts are if the Immortals are all gone, it actually justifies throwing down like maybe a second Nidus Worm, but not with all these waiting.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to kill that second one. I had way too much health. He is going to try and go to a 2-base Spire now, so you brought up a Spire earlier, kind of laughing what exactly would he get, and it's like, well, 7 units early in the game is nothing to scoff at. That's a lot of map control. Now it's like even later than it would have been if he hadn't gone for that Nidus Worm, and that didn't even work out. GG.
He emote GG's too, dude. Ooh, Nerchio never GG's. He gave Neeb the super GG. But a quick series is what it is, and a 2-0 goes in the favor of Neeb. So congratulations to him. Who was that came with the bits? That Nexikuro came in with 1,200 bits to follow OFU. With the birthday cheers, St. Griffin Zomgra paying the iron price for Homestory Cup 16. I'm not sure what Homestory Cup. Oh, because it ran over Atlanta, maybe, or I don't know the joke. To be honest, I'm not sure what we're saying here.
Oh yeah, maybe that's where he's going with that.
But yo, actually, OFU, you guys may have got to catch him. He was on stream briefly. He was helping me do audio tests and stuff during DreamHack Atlanta. So a big thank you for that, man. I hope you had a good rest of your event. I don't believe I got to say goodbye to you, so I hope you had a good trip home. But if I recall, you said you live fairly close. We're going to go to commercial break, though, while we wait for the other semifinals, which should be coming up. It's going to be Ryung versus either Hero or Solar. And we may be waiting for a little bit, but we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Thanks for watching.